CMC of the People's Republic of China. President Buhari said he believes that under the leadership of President Xi, relations between China and Nigeria, which dates back to 1971, when both countries formally established diplomatic ties, have expanded rapidly on bilateral trade and strategic cooperation. He said he trusts that the future outlook of the strategic partnership with China will continue to blossom in leaps and bounds in the areas of military, political, trade, finance, oil and gas relations, as well as cooperation in the telecommunications, agriculture, infrastructure development, and manufacturing sectors. President Buhari wishes the government and people of China continued peace, progress and prosperity under the able and trusted leadership of President Xi. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) said over 170,000 polling units, results of the February 25th presidential and National Assembly elections, have been uploaded on its result viewing portal, IREF. The Commission also said the reconfiguration of the bimodal voter registration systems, BVAS, will be completed by Tuesday in preparation for the March 18 governorship and state assembly elections. INEC National Commissioner Festus Okoye stated that by Tuesday the Commission will complete the resettling of the BVAS for the purposes of the governorship and state assembly elections. The results in all the places where elections were conducted would have been pushed to the accreditation back end. He noted that INEC is the regulator of political parties and the Commission won't relinquish its responsibility to aggrieve political parties. He said serious efforts are being made to rectify challenges with IREF portal ahead of March 18 polls, adding that the ICT department of the Commission knows that to do it, there are issues with the uploading of polling unit results on the IREF portal in March 18 polls. State governments which sued the federal government on the Naira redesign policy have given the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami San, and the Central Bank of Nigeria Governor Godwin Emefiele till Tuesday to comply with the order of the Supreme Court on the currency. The state government threatened to file contempt charges against the two top officials on Tuesday should they fail to obey the Apex Court, which ordered that the old 1,500 and 200 should be in circulation alongside a new note till December 31, 2023. Over 1 week after the court handed down the order, the AGF and the CBN have kept mum over the verdict. Their silence have emboldened Nigerians and businesses to reject the old notes as legal tender. The plaintiffs said the federal government had refused to implement the judgment and would approach the Apex Court to ensure compliance with the court's order. Still on the CBN, the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, has debunked allegations of a fresh ploy against the president-elect Bola Tinubu. In a statement signed by CBN's Acting Director of Corporate Commissions, Isa Abdulmumini, Emefiele denied that money was given to the gubernatorial candidate of the Labour Party in Lagos State, Gbadebo Rose-Vivo. Abdulmumini said the story is completely false and malicious, as the governor does not know and has never met or even spoken with Gbadebo Rose-Vivo either in person or through proxy. He reiterated that the CBN governor does not take part in politics and called for evidence to prove otherwise. The Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps (NSCDC) says it will continue to arrest and prosecute those involved in the production and circulation of fake redesigned Naira notes. The Commandant General of the Corps, Ahmed Aldi, told newsmen that the number of cases of circulation of fake Naira note had become worrisome. He warned perpetrators to desist, adding that the Corps will not relent but continue to arrest and prosecute those involved in economic sabotage of the country. According to him, in less than a month, the Corps had arrested and seized fake Naira notes worth millions from members of syndicates in different states in the country. The Commandant General said that while interrogating most of the arrested suspects, it was deduced that the alleged fraudsters took advantage of the low circulation of the redesigned Naira notes to massively produce counterfeit notes. RD therefore advised citizens to avoid being victims of fraudsters by ensuring they transact with banks, most especially when large sums were involved. Moving on, the Nigerian military has dropped one place in the latest global military ranking. The ranking by Global Firepower had rated the armed forces of Nigeria 35 out of 142 countries considered for the annual ranking in 2022. But in 2023, the Nigerian military was ranked 36th out of a total of 145 countries reviewed for the 2023 ranking. Nigeria also dropped from 3rd to 4th on the continent. The United States of America's military is ranked 1st in the world. Russia is 2nd, followed by China. Director of Defense Information Tukur Gusau had declined to comment on the ranking when asked if the ranking was a true reflection of the military strength. Security experts, however, said there are a lot of factors that may be responsible for the lower ranking, saying one of the key factors is the lack of official information on the latest military hardware. The Nigerian Immigration Service has handed over 11 victims of human trafficking to the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, in Sokoto's Public Relations Officer, Comptroller of Corrections, Tony Akuneme, disclosed this in a statement on Sunday in Abuja. Akuneme said that the victims were repatriated back to Nigeria by the Niger Republic Police and handed over to the Nigeria Immigration Service at the Ilela Border Command. According to him, the Controller of Immigration, Ilela Border Command, Adorano Sabo, revealed this on Friday, March 10th, while handing the victims over to the Zonal Commandant of NAPTIP in Sokoto State. He said the 11 victims, who were all women, were apprehended in Niger Republic on their way to Libya. The young women are from different parts of the country and of various ages ranging from 19 to 37. Akuneme advised Nigerians to desist from undertaking such perilous journeys, noting that most victims ended up being used for labor exploitation, prostitution, or organ harvesting. You're watching Rapid TV News right here, channel 176. Still to come, Nigeria's power generation exceeds 4,000 megawatts. 22 migrants die in Madagascar boat accident. And Tyson Fury will agree terms for undisputed heavyweight fight. Stand by for these and more after the break. Welcome back. Power generation on the national grid has continued to hover above 4,000 megawatts since January this year, following the deployment of transformers, substations, and other accessories to boost supply. Grid performance data obtained from the Federal Ministry of Power in Abuja on Sunday showed that electricity generation on the national grid as at 6 a.m. on the same day was 4,456.8 megawatts. An analysis of randomly picked figures from the grid performance data indicated that power generation has stayed above the 4,000 megawatts mark for months, while the country had yet to record any total grid collapse this year, unlike what happened in 2022. March 2nd and 3rd, 2023, for instance, power generation on the grid as at 6 a.m. was put at 4,859.8 megawatt and 4,962.7 megawatt, respectively, while it was 4,753.9 megawatt on February 23rd, 2023. As similar generation figures were recorded in the preceding month. Analysts believe that the current stability of the grid was due to improvements in the deployment of equipment such as transformers, substations, and other accessories. The manager of the National Grid Transmission Company of Nigeria, an agency of the federal government, has continued to announce the deployment of transformers and other accessories to power stations across the country. Moving on now to the foreign scene, no fewer than 22 migrants died when their boat sank off the coast of Madagascar over the weekend. The island nation's maritime authorities said on Monday. 47 people had clandestinely taken a boat headed to the French territory of Mayotte. Many migrants try each year to reach the French territory of Mayotte, which lies north of Madagascar in the Indian Ocean. In 2021, more than 6,500 people were detained trying to enter the territory clandestinely, according to French authorities. There are no viable statistics on how many people have lost their lives in attempting such crossings. A French Senate report published in the early 2000s estimated that at that time around 1,000 people were dying each year. The UN envoy to Libya, Abdoulaye Bathily, has called for the rival administrations in the country to reach an agreement by mid-June and hold long-delayed elections by the end of the year. Libya remains split between a nominally interim government in Tripoli in the west and another is the east, backed by military strongman Khalifa Haftar. The head of the Tripoli government, Prime Minister Abdelhamid Debba, expressed his support for the UN envoy's efforts, calling for fair and impartial elections. He also said that it would be possible if the electoral laws are put in place in mid-June by the end of the year to have these elections to take place. The UN initiative has been backed by the Western powers but is criticized by the administration supported by Haftar in the east as well as by Russia, which supports it. A key factor in the stalemate is the fact that Haftar is a U.S. citizen. His rivals want rules that ban the candidacy of dual citizens and military figures. Moving on to sport right now, the International Federation of Football History and Statistics named Super Eagles goalie Vincent Enyeama the finest African goalkeeper in history. The choice was decided in light of his exceptional performances over the course of a career spanning more than a decade, both for club and country. Enyeama played for a number of clubs including Lille, Nia Yehuda, Hapoel Tel Aviv, and Enyimba International, amongst others. He competed for Nigeria in the 3 World Cup competitions and was crucial to the team's triumph at the 2013 African Cup of Nations. Enyeama was chosen by the IFFHS, a non-profit organization with headquarters in Germany that evaluates the abilities. He competed for Nigeria in 3 World Cup competitions and was crucial to the team's triumph at the 2013 Africa Cup of Nations. Enyeama was chosen by the IFFHS, a non-profit organization with headquarters in Germany that evaluates the abilities of football players and coaches around the world, ahead of other notable African goalkeepers, including Joseph Antoine Bell, Thomas Nkono, and Essam El Hadary. He has multiple individual honors, which include being elected the best goalkeeper in the Israeli Premier League 3 times and the best goalkeeper in League One for the 2013-2014 season, attest to Enyeama's extraordinary career as a goalkeeper with 21 shootouts in the 2013-2014 season. He also holds the record for the most clean sheets in a season in the French top division. Enyeama is frequently regarded as Nigeria's all-time best goalkeeper and also regarded as Lille's greatest ever. His accomplishment is a great testament to the abilities and contributions of African football players. And in tennis, the poster boy of Africa and Nigeria table tennis, Haruna Quadri, yesterday began his 3rd World Table Tennis WTT tournament in 2023 with an emphatic 3-2 comeback win against familiar foe Ruben Filus of Germany in the first round of men's singles of WTT Singapore Smash. The keenly contested match, which ended 3-2, 14-12, 6-11, 11-3, 6-11, 11-9, was a classic battle between attack and defense, but it was Quadri who reached the round of 32 at the Singapore Sports Hub's Arena. After the match, Quadri described the comeback victory as a good omen and added that he was focused because he had experienced the same situation 6 or 7 years ago. However, the second African star, Egypt's Omar Assa, lost woefully 3-0 against Portuguese international Thiago Apollinaire in the first round, failing to move to the next round. Meanwhile, the defending Singapore Smash champions China Fang Zhendong and Chen Meng make their intentions to retain their singles crown known as the 1-3-0, 3-1 respectively. It will be recalled that this current WTT tournament is the third in a row, as 2 editions had been held in Durban, South Africa and Doha, Qatar. And in boxing, the World Boxing Association WBA have confirmed the agreement of terms for an undisputed heavyweight fight. English professional boxer Tyson Fury March 10th made his demand for the undisputed heavyweight known in a rival video. Fury explained that he would only get into the ring against Ukrainian professional boxer Oleksandr Usyk on a 70-30 financial split. The video by Fury came after Usyk's manager Alexander Krasuk explained the difficulties in getting a deal done, despite offering a 60-40 winner deal. The statement by the WBA said WBA President Gilberto Mendoza received the confirmation from Alexandra Usyk and Tyson Fury's team that there is an agreement to make the unification fight. They request time to work on the contracts to close the deal. It is now expected that Fury, the WC champion, takes the ring against Usyk, the IBF, IBO, WBA and WBO title holder, in an undisputed heavyweight showdown at the Wembley Stadium in London on Saturday, April 29, 2023. You've been watching Rapid TV News. To end the news, here is a recap of our major stories. Buhari congratulates Chinese president on re-election. INEC says Beavers reconfiguration to be completed Tuesday. Nigeria's power generation exceeds 40,000 megawatts. 22 migrants die in Madagascar boat accident. And in sport, Tyson Fury, Usyk agreed terms for undisputed heavyweight fight. Thanks for watching. My name is Cynthia. Keep watching our programs and don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms. Do have yourself a wonderful evening.